Hello guys, this is Sussy episode 3, and today we're going to be talking about companies that helped gaming rise. So our first company we're going to be talking about is Valve. So why we're talking about Valve, you might not even know their name, but they're actually a big part of the industry. So they always strive to make innovative changes. A lot of their games have made big impacts in the gaming world, such as CS, Half-Life, Alex, Portal, Left 4 Dead, TF2, and we're going to expand on that.
Yeah, so as we stated before in past episodes, CS was the first big shooter because it just did everything so well. It didn't start as a Valve game, but after 1.6 it became one, and they just added a lot of stuff that made it more popular and more diverse, including skins, but you have to make money somehow. And yeah, it was basically just a very innovative thing to try and do that. Yeah,
there hadn't really been that big of a team-based shooter with that type of mechanics. And
yeah, it was just it started as a mod, but then Valve just grabbed it and made it something way better than two people could ever make.
So on to the next game, Half-Life. Half-Life is an older game, so you might not have heard of it, but that was also a big turning point in the gaming world.
Yeah.
So Half-Life also changed FPS, and it was one of their first best story games that they put out, and a lot of people were asking for more. And recently they made another one, Half-Life Alex, but that one was in VR.
Yeah, Half-Life just added a bunch of stuff that we take for granted today, is realistic physics and just shooting that makes feels good, because a lot of other games were kind of just maybe slower pace or weren't as advanced with its shooting. Half-Life had bullet drop with its crossbow in Half-Life 2, and driving and stuff like that in a huge world, especially in Half-Life 2 with the entire Lost Coast thing. Yeah, so basically just added stuff that we know today.
Yeah, so this company basically made the roots where a lot of people may not have heard of the games right now, but if you play any other game, you're going to see things that were taken out of Half-Life.
Yeah, also it's just the Source engine in general has the Half-Life feel, since that's what Half-Life was based off. So what is it, Gmodule? It's basically just Half-Life. CSGO is also on the Source engine, but it's a bit newer, so it looks better. But still the same feel. You can still B-hop and stuff. It's just all the same mechanics, but implemented slightly differently.
And the next game we're going to talk about is Half-Life Alyx. So Half-Life Alyx came out newer, more recent, and that game kind of changed VR as a whole, because VR was known for Beat Saber and games like this, just
where you don't really move.
Yeah, you don't really move. It's just you see things around you. But Half-Life Alyx, it was basically Half-Life, a whole story game, but in VR. And it kind of changed the whole medium. Things that you can only do in VR. So, you could reload your gun manually in Half-Life Alyx. Or, you could pick up something and then start drawing on the wall. That was...
Yeah, it basically just used your actual hands for stuff instead of just having, something constantly attached to it. It is kind of like Boneworks, where it's realistic, reloading and stuff. But it's for Half-Life, and it just makes the game feel a lot better than it did, since you're actually in the world. And yeah.
Another game, Left 4 Dead. This one you probably have heard of. Left 4 Dead was one of the biggest and first zombie games with your friends that you could actually partake in, and it changed the standard for zombie games as a whole, and the fun that you could have, because it hadn't really been done like that before.
It was more open world, so you could just explore any part of it and still get through the map. That's how most Valve games are. Even if you do some random stuff, you're still gonna get to the end of the level, which is kind of speaks to how they develop their games. They want the player to have fun, but also play the game so they can actually enjoy it. So Left 4 Dead 2, you would play a level, maybe go through an apartment. You could go through different areas, but you'd still arrive at the same elevator, which would just work out. And it also had really good AI for the time, just group and attacking through doors and stuff, and pathfinding, which a lot of games have now, but like that was something that didn't exist a little bit ago.
So moving off of Left 4 Dead, Portal. So Portal and Portal 2 are some of the most innovative, actually, because they're very creative, and this is like one of the first puzzle solving games that you could do co-op, because the first Portal was great, but then they expanded on it and made it even better in the second rendition.
Yeah, and the story continues.
And they even released comics of the story. They continued, and the co-op aspect, it actually makes you have to use co-op. You can't do it by yourself. You have to have like the other person help.
No, not in the single player though.
No, the co-op, I'm saying.
No shit.
No, but like some co-op games, you can have another person
you can
there,
solo, yeah.
but you can just do it yourself. But this one, you had to have the other person do something in order for the whole puzzle to work.
Yeah, because you'd have to use like multiple portals to get the sticky slime somewhere and stuff like that. And the like mechanics of it, you could like do some weird stuff with portals. Like you could glitch through walls if like you're actually good at the game, which speedrunners can do the game in like an hour or so if they get lucky. So it's just a very creative game which requires thinking instead of just like following a tutorial.
Yep. And the next game is Dota. Dota is like a MOBA, but League of Legends is obviously like more popular, well known. But the thing that we're going to be talking about Dota and its innovation is the amount of money that they put in the prize pools.
Dota has a lot of money in the esports scene because it's a MOBA. Like League of Legends is the top, but like Dota 2 is also like number 2, since it just takes a lot of people to actually get to number 1. So like a lot of people continue watching it, continue like adding to the prize pool. It's made by Valve, so they'll also put in a bunch of money, kind of like in CSGO majors, and you'll just get a bunch of money if you win. But there's already so many like dedicated pros that it's really hard to actually like win unless you're like a new up and coming super gamer.
And this also shows the amount of like money and effort they're gonna put into like grow esports and gaming as in the general.
Yeah, Valve is a very like community driven company.
Yeah, like they could be even credited for like a portion of the rise of gaming and culture.
They created Steam, so you know you probably if you game, you probably know what Steam is because you probably bought something from there before.
Everyone uses Steam to buy games. Yeah. I don't know anyone that uses like someone else mainly.
Yeah,
mainly is Steam.
Because you can CSGO is on there, like all the popular games except some newer Call of Duties aren't, and they have like their own system for multiplayer, so you don't even have to like developers can just use that, which will get more games on there, and it's kind of just like a hub for anything that's related to gaming, like community and stuff. Yeah, they even have like a weird Twitch clone broadcast. Yeah, that's we don't need to talk about that.
Yeah, it's like maybe in the future that will become a...
Yeah, maybe. But, because they're such a big company, they've created so many jobs for people. Like, even if it's not developing a thing, like, what is it? Advertising and stuff like that, it's just...
Yeah, they just do a lot for gaming in general.
They just do a lot for people. And, yeah, that's about it. We could talk about the Valve Index, like the VR headset, but
yeah,
that's kind of like just it made everything better than what it was.
Yeah, it's better than before, but it's not like that big of an.
Yeah, it costs a lot, so I'm never going to buy it. So id Software is the next company we're going to talk about. You probably haven't actually heard of them since they don't like plaster their name anywhere.
Yeah, like. I hadn't even heard of it until I realized the games that they made.
Yeah, they make games like Doom Eternal, like every Doom, and Quake. So if you're a fan of those games, then you're basically just playing any id Software game. They've also made some other ones that I forgot, but they're also pretty big. So they made some huge advancements in like game development with performance. So they had this algorithm where like to calculate polygons and stuff with like fast inverse square rooting, which the developer who did it, like, it doesn't even really make sense if you just look at it, but once you destruct it, like, it's one of the fastest things ever, which at the time, which was like 2000 or something, was incredible since no one had thought to do it. And it just improved performance so much, and so it saved time, like rendering stuff.
Yeah, they also released their older engines to open source.
Yeah, like you can find, like, I think id Software 3 on like GitHub and just use that to create a game. Although it'd be very hard to, since it's from like the 90s.
Yeah, it's old, but it's
or,
still
2000s.
like the only reason they would do that is to just give it out to people.
Yeah, like I don't know why you would still hold on to something that old, especially since like not a lot of multiplayer games are developed on it. I don't think like anywhere actually. So there'd be no point in just be like, hey, here's like our engine, you can use it for whatever. And it would also lead to some pretty cool mods that would be created. Yeah, so as we said, they developed some of the most popular games in the world.
Yeah, like the backbones of FPS, Doom, Quake.
So they are one of the most like highly selling companies, development studios, since you've probably seen or played one of their games, any of the Dooms, any of the Quakes, any other things they made, then you've definitely bought it from them for like $80 since they scam you.
Next company, Activision Blizzard. Now, recently, they've been under fire a little bit. They've been under some lawsuits.
Yeah, the last couple of months.
But, like, that still doesn't change the impact they had. So, a lot of the most popular games in the world in the past, and maybe a little bit now, they created. So, Call of Duty, Diablo, Overwatch, World of Warcraft as well. That was a very big one. People still play that today.
Yeah.
It was just innovative. Like Overwatch, it was a little bit like
a TF2 clone.
Yeah, like a TF2.
Doesn't really feel like a TF2.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like TF2, but like if you look at the format of it, like it's TF2, but it feels much different. And they even like they're making another Overwatch, though. I don't know.
To try and save it because it kind of fell off.
Yeah, but when it was big, it was really big. It was like
one of
everyone
the biggest,
played it.
Like the Overwatch League, it was like one of the first regional leagues ever. So like you could have the Vancouver Titans or like the Shanghai Dragons or something like that. So it's basically just like cities of like teams of cities. So that was pretty cool. You could root for your city, or you could just root for whoever was winning. Yeah,
like they did really make an innovative change with the Overwatch League. Like they made their own league. And
that'd be very dumb if they try to like implement it to another one.
Yeah.
So they released a bunch of like popular games that were developed by like sub studios like Treyarch and Treyarch, Infinity Ward, stuff like that, which would get the game more sales since it's just a big publisher. But some of their controversies, we should talk about them a bit.
Okay, so they were sued recently because of the workplace like behavior, because they were accused of being sexual harassment.
Like frat culture and stuff.
And this all like started because one of their female employees committed suicide.
Or something like that.
Yeah, due to the action of the other employees, and there was a lot of disgusting behavior on the lawsuit.
So they're I think the president quit or something of the company, and it's been going downhill since with their releases. But
maybe they'll make a comeback.
Maybe.
I don't know.
And there's stuff like bad games, like all the new Call of Duties. Not that like Call of Duty's bad, but like compared to other ones.
Yeah, at first I guess they used to be an innovative company. Yeah, I don't think they really are anymore.
Just trying to.
They're just repeating the same formula now.
Yeah, and also like just like making strict deadlines for development studios, which
puts pressure and then makes the game worse in turn.
And there's more bugs and stuff. So the last company we're going to talk about is Epic Games.
You've definitely heard of these guys.
Yeah, because you've probably played Fortnite, whether it's on like the Nintendo Switch
or Xbox or
iPhone,
wherever.
And it was probably it was the most popular game in the world at one point. So that made them a lot of money and like spread their name out. and it just helped grow them as like a company. And Fortnite was developed on the Unreal Engine, which they also made.
Yeah, that's one of the best like realistic graphics.
Yeah, like physics and stuff like that. Which it's free to use if you make like under a certain amount of money, like all commercial engines. But it basically is just one of the most innovative things you can use if you want to create a game, and it's really easy to get started with it since it's like graphical coding and stuff like that.
Like there had been battle royales before,
but, like PUBG,
like Hunger Games, Minecraft, kind of.
Yeah, but that
doesn't really count. But they were like the first.
They managed to like get people in by making it more like silly and whimsical.
PUBG was a really big game, but after Fortnite came out, it appealed more to the kids and like its like style.
Yeah, and more of the YouTubers since they would just get more viewers watching it.
Yeah, and so a lot of games nowadays try to like clone or something,
like
or
try. No. Well, what else like tries to clone?
Not Fortnite? Clone, but like a lot of battle royales came after. Like Apex Legends came after.
Yeah, which I would say Apex is better.
Apex is like different, a lot different, but like it's still like a lot of games also like tried to clone like Creative Destruction. Was it? It's like a mobile clone game of it.
Yeah, and some other thing. It was like Spellbreak.
Yeah, Spellbreak came out.
We're just trying to like get the feel for Fortnite.
Even
like,
Battlefield had or some other like some COD? Games. COD had
a Blackout.
CS:GO had a
whatever it was like. Not I don't know.
It had a like battle royale.
Yeah. So every game just started, or they make their games free to play since that's what Fortnite did, and that's what got them all the microtransactions and money
and all the skins.
Yeah, it was a very good idea to do. So one of their things is that they'll give out games for free on their store.
Yeah, because they expect like people to be like, oh, like I should buy more games from here, but that doesn't really work.
Yeah, I don't think anyone like. I haven't bought a game off of Epic Games ever, and I just wait till like they release a game for free and just add it to my library.
Yeah.
And I probably won't even play it, but I still have it if I want it. Which I feel like they kind of know that this is happening, but what are they gonna do? You know, there's still probably some people that return to buy like a game that isn't on Steam since it's like maybe like an Epic Games exclusive, but no one really like buys games off of the Epic Store because why would you?
Yeah, why would you when there's Steam?
Yeah, it's like, you know, they try, but sometimes you should just give up. Yeah, so, you know, they made Fortnite. We already talked about this. Made many monies for them.
And another thing they do a lot is they partner with like other games to like get their player base higher.
Yeah, like what is it? They like in Fortnite, they would like collab with a bunch of companies, like or like just things in general, like Naruto.
Yeah, like you can find different, like you can even find like Rick Space Jam.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff like Halo. I mean, it's kind of just like I don't know why you would necessarily buy the skins instead of just playing the games, but maybe you're so diehard Fortnite, but you want to escape the reality that you're just wasting time playing Fortnite, which is a dying game.
But that's gaming as a general, isn't it? So, thanks. So that was SussyCast episode 3, and this is the chance to change the future.